So everyone is super hyped about the remake to Resident Evil 2. People are like, you know, best fucking game ever, it's gonna be fucking amazing, greatest game, can't wait. Well, is it really? Is it really gonna be the best game ever? Is it gonna be the best Resident Evil ever? Is this just a cash-in by Capcom? You know, just like the original Resident Evil remake, I wanted them to make that again. For Resident Evil 2, basically update the graphics, modernize it in that sense, add some new areas to explore, some new enemies, you know what I mean? You want to just enhance the feel of the original. You don't want to just create a whole new game. This is sort of reimagining a Resident Evil 2 on the count of many points, but I'll list them all. 10 reasons why I'm not excited for the Resident Evil 2 remake. Number 1. What do you think it is? Something to do with this shoulder here, something to do with the camera constantly there. Yep, over the shoulder. My god, is it annoying. Every single modern game is pretty much a shooter, over the shoulder. You can fully control it every now and then, you can swivel it around. It destroys all the tension. It gets rid of any fear or threat when you can just see all around you. The fact that it's also moving so much, it doesn't allow much tension to build. It's more like a constant pace, you know, like an action type game. I'd say that was, to me, one of the biggest problems with Resident Evil 4, is when it took that slotted camera behind and you can like view any angle. Nothing felt scary, nothing felt like it was hidden. That's why they had to get you with all these like tap X, tap square to like dodge, to jump. They had to do those things because there was no tension, nothing was scary. These were gimmicks to trick you, the audience, into thinking you're playing something that's tense. And in reality, it's just a bit of a roller coaster, you could say. The original remake for Resident Evil, that was made in 2002. That is 16 years old. So 16 years old and impressive. Can you imagine if they had the pre-rendered backgrounds and everything enhanced and detailed on the PS4, but for Resident Evil 2? It would look incredible. It would look even better than the remake, which still to this day looks amazing. So that's something to think about. I mean, if you really look at this remake, does it look graphically impressive? No, it looks pretty standard. I mean, some of it looks kind of gruesome, kind of interesting. But 10 years from now, nobody's going to think it stands out as anything graphically impressive. That I can say for certain. The third person angle creates a lot of tension. It creates a lot of mystery. Sometimes it's like you're watching a film, there's lots of tension because there's certain camera angles used in order to throw you off, to make you feel that you're secure or not secure. You don't know what's around the corner. It's definitely something that has its advantages. Now, when you get rid of the fixed camera angles, and I'm not saying like fixed as in it doesn't move, I'm saying you can have the cameras move now and then, but you don't control them. That means that the power is not in your hands, it's forces around you that are more intimidating, scary, threatening than your character, basically. Second reason is the music, or should I say, what music? Because I can't hear anything. That's right. There's barely anything. There's like sort of faint sounds here and there, like weird ambient sounds. But generally, there is no music in this game. It's a bit of a cop-out. Apparently there's some edition you can buy which has the original music put in there, which is fucking lazy. Resident Evil 2 was one of the Resident Evils with the most iconic soundtracks that everyone remembers, feels whenever William Birkin shows up, for example, Mr. X. You could feel that tension, you could feel it walking around, the hallway music, everything was great about it. They just don't even have that. You could say it's a demo and they're going to add it later, but I'm not really excited because surely they should have had that in the demo to get fans excited. Third reason I'm not excited about this Resident Evil 2 remake is it's over dramatic and it just bores. There's some boring ass stuff where there's a dude, you see him on security footage and then he's like, yeah, come in here, rescue me.
I'll get you out.
He goes in there and then he's like trying to be rescued. You know what's gonna happen, the zombies are gonna eat him, and then they tear his lower body off and it's like, whoa, scary, intense. And then there's another moment where you're trying to escape and worried that a zombie's gonna tear your body off, and then Marvin rescues you and gives you some speech, and you know, and everything just feels just overdone, over dramatic, and like it's trying to be similar to The Last of Us, but really that's not what excites me about Resident Evil. I don't like things that are over dramatic. I like the to the point, quick, crazy stuff that would happen in the original Resident Evil. What they basically had was scenes that were important to advance the story, and they were just right there in your face, crazy shit happening. You know, there was none of this slow talking and dialogue and that's an order, rookie. You know, I get what they were going for, but I don't know, something about the over dramaticness of it just really bores me. And you get this a lot in modern games, and they try and, you know, drag it out for ages to make it seem like it's more important than it actually is. Really, you just want to play the game and you want to feel some emotion, but this cutscene is actually detracting from that emotion. Another reason I'm not excited about this remake is this flashlight, as Americans like to call it, or torch as we call it here in England. It's a bit of a cop-out. You know, they're saying they've redesigned everything, enhanced the graphics, whatever. Doesn't matter, you can't even see it. You're exploring all these iconic parts of the station, which were really, you know, cool to look at in the original game. You can't even see them in this one. It's freaking dark, man. What the hell? You can't see. He's pointing his flashlight, so it's kind of blurry. It's got this weird tone, like a bluish, greyish tone to it. It's a little too Blair Witch Project and not Resident Evil, so to speak. It's just whack, and I feel it's a cop-out. It works with certain areas and certain parts of the game, so I hope they don't do it in all of the game, and then I'll give it more credit. But I got a feeling, knowing what Capcom like to do, that they're probably just going to do that throughout the whole fucking thing. And it's gonna be like, live with it, buddy. This is Resident Evil now. Yeah, it's all gimmicks. It's all torches in the dark, and you can't see shit. Yeah, great graphics, huh? Doesn't matter. You can't fucking see it. Fifth reason I'm not excited about this is every Mr. X Tyrant model, you know, that particular model, has been consistent throughout the whole series in a look. 2, 3, you see in the background. Outbreak series, it's consistent. You see it in even Umbrella Chronicles and all these other ones that are like side games. It's consistent. The Mr. X look is consistent. I'll just show you in case you need reminding. So here we have it here. This is Resident Evil Archives. That's it there. That's the iconic Mr. X Tyrant, model T103. Now in this game, just to be different, they've decided to put a fedora on his head. Now to me this is like a bit hipster, it's a bit like, wasn't that cool? We put a fedora on his head, but you weren't expecting that. Really, it's another gimmick. It's silly, it's like why? Why would Umbrella design the Tyrant to have the fedora? He's not trying to blend in, he's fucking gigantic. The reason he has the trench coat on is to limit him or something like that. It holds something to stop him from transforming, but if his control mechanisms are in that trench coat, so he just obeys orders. But the fedora doesn't really serve any purpose, as far as I'm aware. It's just a stylish choice, and it's fucking stupid, mate. This game is not for kids, and I feel like they're trying to go for like a younger audience with dumb things like that. So, not happy about that choice. I don't really care about it per se, but I'm just saying, like, it would be better as an additional bonus costume or something. Don't put it as the default design. Number 6. It's pretty much Resident Evil 4, and I didn't like Resident Evil 4. It had nothing to do with Resident Evil. It attracted a whole bunch of casual fans to the Resident Evil fan base, and then from then on they keep demanding more action, more crazy stuff, more Leon, and Capcom is basically deciding, well, you know, Resident Evil 4 fans, they like Resident Evil 4, right? They like Leon, so let's put Leon as the main focus in this Resident Evil, even though Claire is supposed to be just as important. Let's also make it so it's similar to Resident Evil 4, you know, we don't want to have fixed camera angles, that's too complicated. We don't want anything that detracts from the action, so let's put the camera right there, they can control it, let's make it a lot easier for them, you know, and that's what it feels like they're doing. And I don't give a fuck about Resident Evil 4. It's probably one of the lamest, boringest, shittest games I've ever played. Other people like it, good for them. Don't like it. I'm a Resident Evil fan. I'm not a Resident Evil 4 fan. So point number 7 is Claire's voice actor, Alison Court, is not in the game. She's an iconic Claire voice. You can remember it clearly in Code Veronica and Resident Evil 2. Her whole Leon, and you know, that whole Steve. It has a certain tone to it, and you think, oh, that's Claire's voice. It's like Claire. You know, you remember it's Claire, and if you're trying to tap in on nostalgia with a remake, surely you would get that iconic voice actor. But no, they don't care. Something to do with fucking unions or some shit. Capcom do this all the time. When they screwed over Wesker's voice actor and they had to get a replacement. 8th reason is, it's not scary. It's a bit tense, but it definitely doesn't look like a scary game. It looks as scary as Resident Evil 6's Leon's campaign. So yeah, you do the math on that one. That was a pretty shit game in my opinion. Nothing scary about it. Lots of gimmicks, lots of tropes. Put some zombies in there. That might scare people. Nah. The 9th reason is there seems to be a lack of connection to the original story, where stars were involved, there was an outbreak, shit hit the fan. If you remember correctly, when you meet Marvin, he's saying like, the stars members explored the mansion, they came back, they presented the information, but nobody listened. And there was this whole feeling towards it, which was like, you know, people should have listened, man. Stars have been through this before. It connects straight to the first game. Now the shit hit the fan, the fucking town's infected, you know? In this one, there's none of that information provided in what we can see of the demo, and it's just sort of like, whoa, there's zombies around. Where's the fucking, we were gonna have a surprise party for you, things got a little out of hand, you know what I mean? Like, there's not the same emotion, there's not the same tension or climax, there's not enough information provided for you to care about Chris, stars, what happened, the mansion incident. None of it is there. It's almost like this game is its own thing. This is a constant theme I see throughout all the footage, is that they're trying to make it its own game. They don't really care about connecting it to the other titles. 10th reason is design choice, and overall not connecting with other titles. This kind of links to the other points. Claire's outfit, for example, is not a 1998 outfit or game outfit from that period. It is a modernized outfit with a tiny hint of what was there. So you see her Made in Heaven logo, that used to stand out before, you can clearly see it. She's got some kind of rough denim type jacket that she's wearing, and now they just thought, you know what, modern people can't relate to that. It looks old, it looks kind of like 80s, 90s look, so let's just give her a leather jacket. Why? Because every female game character has a leather jacket now. It's cool. You know, that design, it's just stands out a little too much. Let's just wash it away. Let's fade it away. It's almost like playing the original Resident Evil and then playing the remake and they scrap the Stars logo and they're like, you know what, let's just wash that Stars logo away. Let's make it cool and modern and hipster. You know, we don't want it to look like it stands out too much. We don't want to distract our own fans from what they actually like. You know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't fucking make sense. I'm not saying that any of these reasons are reasons enough not to play it. However, if you were like dating a girl and all these red flags came up, would you continue dating her? Well, you shouldn't, because that would be stupid. So this is my point with the remake, is all these red flags have come up. I've named them, I've listed them, and I've explained why they're issues for me. And that's kind of put me off. I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm gonna have to see something else that's gonna convince me to play it, you know. But so far, I'm not gonna buy it, not gonna pre-order it, you know. No point in it really. It doesn't feel like Resident Evil 2 to me. It feels like a modern take on it, and not excited. Don't care about it. You know, let me know your opinion. I'm curious, any hardcore Resident Evil fans out there, if they're actually looking forward to this title. What makes them want to buy it, or what makes them think it's going to be different than Resident Evil 6 or Resident Evil 4 for that matter, or even Resident Evil 7, which as you know is sort of closer to horror element but not Resident Evil. So what is it that you guys think about this particular game that's going to be different in all of the modern Capcom takes on Resident Evil?